Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey Vickery and today I'm going to be discussing with you the effects of Backpack Club on children in poverty at an elementary school. So the action plan for this research project was when a child lives in poverty, they do not have access to things that those students who do not live in poverty have. They do not always have a meal to eat. Parents are not there to help them with their homework because they're working. They don't always have a clean place to live or a positive place to live, and this can negatively impact the student. Students need all of the things listed above to be able to perform well on performance-based tests. The plan is for teachers and the school counselor to provide Backpack Club to students that are performing low on performance-based tests. Students will be provided Backpack Club every Friday to be able to close gaps on those performance-based tests. So the statement of this research problem is that students from poverty will see performance test scores rise if they have the support of Backpack Club. Studies show that children from homes that lack consistent access to food are more likely to experience developmental impairments in areas like language, motor skills, and behavior. So, some of you might be wondering what Backpack Club is. Backpack Club is a community partnership within the school's comprehensive counseling program that assists in eliminating the educational barrier of children being hungry. The school works with a local charity and a church, and through this partnership, they have been able to serve this school with 160 bags of food weekly, every single Friday, and this is funded solely by the church. So, while starting this research project, the sample of students that I chose was 6 students in 3rd grade who received Backpack Club weekly who have not in the past. The sample consisted of 2 African American males, 1 Caucasian male, and 2 Caucasian females that attend the elementary school. The participants' ages are either 8 or 9 years old. So the sampling method that I chose, the sample technique will be purposive sampling because the students have demonstrated a need for additional data to be gathered and analyzed based on prior information. This will be a quasi-experimental research study using mixed method for data collection, so performance test scores from students who receive Backpack Club and attendance records. Choosing this sampling technique would allow the researcher to obtain data that is an accurate representation of the students receiving Backpack Club at the elementary school. The impact on student achievement. So every 9 weeks and at the beginning of the school year, the school counselor sends out a student needs survey to the parents. This is used to determine if students are in need of Backpack Club on the weekend or if there are any home or life situations that the counselor needs to know about. When they do not receive this, the barriers are present and they show maladaptive ways to address those behaviors. So later on, I will show you those forms that the counselor sends out every 9 weeks. So research methods. I chose to do a quantitative method, and how I will gather the data for this is the attendance records will be checked in STAR reading and math reports. Also, Google Documents will be checked for behavior. This information will be discussed with the general education teachers and other special education teachers and teachers who keep data of students 1 through 6, such as the reading interventionist or the reading coach. So the timeline. The course of this study will take place over a traditional semester timeline, which is 18 weeks. Teachers and counselors will collect names of students with low performance test scores and start giving them Backpack Club on Friday. Students will participate by collecting the bag on Friday and showing up to school daily. Teachers will also collect data from attendance records and STAR reading reports to see how the students are doing. Teachers will review this data to take the next steps. The teachers will pull the STAR report monthly and document these scores. At the end of the semester, all of the data will be examined to conclude the effectiveness of Backpack Club raising their performance test-based scores. So the collaborative efforts. In order for this project to work, we will need all hands on deck. So the teachers are responsible for giving the performance-based tests monthly in their class. The school counselor ensures that students receive Backpack Club every Friday, and if they need it and don't receive it, they're put on the list. The parents will be responsible for making sure that their child makes it to school every day. And then Renaissance Learning will provide the STAR reading assessment to the students and the reports for the teachers to use. So the internal and external validity. The Backpack Club attendance and STAR reading reports will be used to monitor student progress. The STAR reading report has several different reports that can be allowed data to be summarized easier. The reports break down the data, making it easy for the teachers to analyze the data. Renaissance Learning is a dependable testing source that gets accurate scores on a student's performance. The special population. So, in the elementary school, it is a pre-K through 6th grade Title I school, and the school's current enrollment consists of 629 students. There are 32 general education teachers and 5 special education teachers. Of the 629, 19% qualify to receive special services from the special education teacher. So, like I mentioned earlier, this form that is right here is the form that the counselor sends out to all of the parents. And as you can see, 48.7% of the parents needed that Backpack Club. And then if you will look right here, this is the data that I gathered on my students. So their beginning of the year test score for STAR reading is listed on this side. Okay, so for student achievement growth, in order to see student achievement growth, STAR scores will need to be increased by at least half a year. And the leverage plan, the function of this resource is to make sure that students receive Backpack Club over the weekend to help raise the test scores from performance-based tests in the classroom. Resources will be required from Center of Hope and reports from school. The plan is to use as many resources within the school that may have, or resources that have been donated to decrease any additional costs. So limitations. Participant absences from school could be an interference with data. When students are not present at school, they are not receiving the instruction that is needed and they are not engaging with teachers and peers. And also, if they miss Friday, they will not get their Backpack Club until Monday. Confidentiality. Participants and their parents will be informed of their rights and consent will be received. Participants will collect Backpack Club every Friday. So the attendance records will be pulled monthly or daily. The STAR report will be pulled weekly. And all participant information will be kept confidential, and there will not be any names on data reports. And this data will be used to prove the effectiveness of Backpack Club. So changes made in the original plan, I would make the change to the length of the project to 12 weeks, and I would do it in the first semester, just so we can get a better idea of how many kids are needing that. And also, I would look into the effect of taking your performance-based test monthly to every other month, because kids are already taking several weekly assessments on top of these performance-based tests, so that could be very stressful for them. And I feel like it may benefit them to be taking this test every other month. Thank you so much for listening to my video, and I hope that you learned something.